Welcome back everyone. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how you can use variables in your webhook. So let's get started. First thing, we will go and create the template. Let's go to settings, and in the settings, let's click on message template. Let's click on create template. This time I'm going to use utility. Click on next. Let's give it a name. I'll call it webinar. Let's define the message. This is the message, and in this message we will be adding the variables. So first here, let's add the full name of the person. This is the system field. After this, here I want to use two variables. So before we add here, we need to create in the web. How we create in the web? We go to settings, and in the settings we go to user fields and click on create new field here, and we define our variables which we want to use. I have already created two variables. One here is session, other is the attendees. So don't forget to create your variables first before adding it in the template. Let's go to connection, message templates, create template, utility type. Let's give it a name again. I'll call it webinar. Let's define the message. Let me add few spaces, and let's add the variable. So here it will be full name. We don't need to create variable for full name because this is the system field. Now here we can add the variables which we just create. How we will add? We need to click on this parenthesis, and we will add the session here and the attendees here. These two variables are added. Now, whenever we add variables in our template, we need to give some sample values. So there are three variables. Let's give them the sample values. So full name could be like my name Vibhu. Session, let's give it, let's say morning session. Attendees, let's write 3. Once everything is done, we will click on create, and we will wait till this template is approved. So here you can see this template is already approved. Once the template is approved, we need to go to flows, and in the flows, we will add this template. So here you can see I have already created one flow. You can click here, create the flow, and in this flow, we need to add the template here by clicking on outside. Why outside? Because this will be pushed from our side, so it won't follow the 24-hour messaging window. We'll select outside, and here we will just select our template. Once the template is created, variables are added. Let's go to the webhook. So let's go to automations, and in the webhook, we will create new webhook. Let's call it webinar confirmation. Here, let's click on create, and it will give us the endpoint URL where we can make the API calls. Let me copy this. Now let's go back to Postman, and here I will make one post request. Let me add the webhook link here, and let's add some data. So we have three variables. So first will be name. Second is session. So let's add here morning session. Third variable which we are using is attendees. So let's add that here. And finally, last will be the phone number. So in attendees, we can add value like 4, and in the phone number, don't forget to add country code before the phone number. So once you add the data, let's click on send. And once it is successful, we will go back to web, click on check test request. And here you will see the payload has arrived. Once the payload has arrived, in the action side, we will simply map it. So first mandatory step is WhatsApp. We need to tell web, out of all these payload, what is the WhatsApp number? So this is the WhatsApp number. Second is create update contact name. So we need to select the payload which will be considered as name for that contact. So this is the name, and this will be fetched by the system field full name. Now these two, once these two are done, we need to update the two variables which we have added in the flow. So what are those two variables? Let's click on update custom field. Let's select that field. So one is attendees. In this attendees variable, we need to pass this payload. We will add one more. The other variable in our template is session. And in this variable, we need to add this payload. Once the payload are completely mapped, we will add our final step, which is run flow, and we will select the flow which we want to send. So the flow which we created, the flow name is webinar confirmation message. So we need to add that here. So the flow name is webinar confirmation message. Let's add it here. Okay, let me update this one more time. And yep, one more common mistake people they're making here is they update the variables after this run flow. That won't work because this all these actions work in a sequential manner. So first of all, both these templates will, both these variables will be updated, and then the flow will be triggered. So make sure to update the variables first and then send the flow. Once everything is set, let's put it live. There is a toggle button here in the top right corner. Just put it live, and let's go to Postman and let's make one final call. So I'll add my phone number here. Let's click on send. Once this is successful, let's go back to Web. Let's open the chat section. And here in the chat, you can see that these variables are coming in the message: morning session, 4, and the name of the person. Similarly, if I go to Postman, let me just change the from morning, let's me change it to evening. From 4, let me add 5, and let's say I'll change the name of the person to Neeraj. Let's click on send. Once this is successful, let's go back to Web, and here you can see the in the updated message all these 3 variables are updated: Neeraj, evening session, 5. Apologies for the spelling mistake, but this is what we are sending from the Postman. So yeah, this was all about this tutorial. I hope you found it useful. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comment section. Thank you so much.